Hey, what's going on? We are live tonight, and my name is Rakeem Addison. If you haven't yet heard of me, or this is your first time seeing me, that's my name. And what my whole purpose for tonight's webinar is to share with the people that are dealing with a one income source life, right? The people that have a full-time job and they're struggling, they're living paycheck to paycheck. The whole purpose of tonight's webinar is to share with you how to increase your income without actually having to go out and get a second job to do it. Because trust me, I've been there, right? All a second job or a third job. I know people that do, two and three jobs doing for you is taking more time away from your family or just taking more time away from you, period, and what you want to do in your life. So um, for all who are watching tonight's webinar, I just want to share a little bit of concept, and it's just share with you my story on what I went through when I had to, I was working a full-time job, and then I ended up having to work two jobs. And I can tell you that was a pretty stressful time for me in my life, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But the whole purpose of this webinar is to share with you how you can increase that income, and I'll actually show you how I increase my income while working my full-time, job as an active duty military soldier. So if you're on right now, just let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Just write it down in the comments or the chat. Just let me know, hey, I can hear you clear, and we'll be good to go. All right, so we got a few people. All right, so I'll go ahead, and what I want to do is I'm going to share a few slides with you that I put together that breaks everything down so that you can, kind of grasp how it is that I'm, earning the income that I'm earning right on the side as like something that I can just, have extra money, during the month to be able to actually, provide for my family or be able to, do that extra stuff that we all want to do, right? So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll share my screen, and I'll pull up the actual slide there. So if you can just hold for just a moment. All right, so let me pull these slides up. All right, so it looks like I'm good to go. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so application window, and let's take another look. All right, so let's try this version. Reading it. Okay, so I got my slides pulled up. If anybody could just let me know if you can see the slides, that would definitely help out. So as you can see, the slides, the title for this tonight's webinar is how to earn more income without having a second job, right? Because like I said, I've been there time and time again where I had to have a second job to be able to, not live paycheck to paycheck every month, right? Because it was, extremely stressful for me, right? So, and it also says, and make $300 to $1,000 per week, which you'll see, where those numbers came from, as we get a little bit further into the webinar, right? So, I'm going to go, to the next slide, right? So my name is Rakeem Addison, right? And I stated that here, but I kind of want to let you know, exactly who I am and what I currently do, and, about this online business stuff, and as well as, what I do as a career at the current time, right? So me, myself, who is Rakeem Addison, right? Who is that guy right there? Obviously, that's me. I'm an active duty military soldier, right? So I do, I'm a soldier full time. So most of my time is taken up, being a soldier, right? And being also a family man, a father of two, and, a father of two young boys and my beautiful wife, right? I'm married. And also, last but not least, I'm a video marketer, right? So most of my business, as far as how I run my business and generate traffic and all those different types of things, most of my traffic comes from video, right? So I consider myself a video marketer, all right? So for the for the most part, that's pretty much who I am and what I do, right? Now I kind of want to get into my story on how I actually got started with this whole entrepreneur, online marketer type of thing, right? Now this story won't take too long because I'm not here to bore you. I'm just here to share with you, how to earn more income without actually having to sacrifice your time to go out there and get a second job, right? And why this is actually worth it. All right, so first things first. When it back in 2014 of November is when I got started with this, right? It was pretty much after I got married, right? Me and my wife, we were talking and we were just like, okay, we got to figure some things out, right? So my first thought, because I wanted to make money, is just like any one of you watching this webinar right now, is all right, I need more money, so I need to go out there and get a second job, right? So that's what I did, right? I literally went out, got a second job. Took me a while to get the job, but I eventually got the job, right? So now I was a full-time active duty military soldier, which takes up between, 80 to 90% of your day, right? So it's depending on if you want to count the actual day hours, the work hours are 9 to 5, right? But that could extend anywhere throughout the day, right? So pretty much my entire day would be gone. Now I'm adding an extra 4 hours onto that, right? So pretty much this is how it went. I would wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do workouts. Then I would go to work by 9 o'clock, right? So from 9 to 5. Now, my second job that I was working at that time was about 35 minutes away. So literally, I would get off at between the hours of the hours of 5:05 and 5:15 to have to go to my job that was 35 minutes away on the other side of town there before 6 o'clock, right? So I would get there about 5:50. And so I'm really cutting it short, you know what I mean? And so the biggest thing I want to point out here is that I had to do that on a day-to-day basis, right? Now, keep in mind, I said about 4 hours is what what I would stay at, how long I would stay at the other job, right? So from 6 to 10. Now, keep in mind, there's customers that come in the stores right at 9:55 or something like that, right? And some of them stay in there 30 minutes plus sometimes, right? Because you don't want to be rude and kick them out of the store, right? So in every job, right, every job has a cleanup process at the end of the day. So if that customer stays into our store until 10:30, we still have to clean up, right? So I wouldn't get home sometimes until 10:45, 11:15 at nighttime. So you can imagine like what was really going through my head. At first, when I first started, I was like, okay, I'm making an extra $300 to $500, so it's fine. But after a while, being the type of man that I am, I'm a family man. I like to spend time with my kids. I like to spend time with my wife, right? I value family time. And after about 4 months, honestly, I just quit, right? I didn't want to do the job no more, right? I didn't want to, continue to sacrifice my time, while being a full-time active duty military soldier as it is, right? I didn't want to keep doing it. So what I did is I ended up quitting because honestly, I saw a change in my household, right? Just from, not being there. And even on the weekends, I would have to work at this second job. So you can imagine what was really going on in my mind. So after quitting the job, after about 4 months, I ended up, just focusing on full-time, just, focusing on the military. But in my mind, I still wanted to create a second income. So what did I do? Right? I started looking on the internet. I started searching, like, how can I make money on the internet? Like, how can I make money online? Like, how do I do these things? And I was finding a bunch of different answers, right? The first thing I started with was surveys, right? The first thing was surveys. And trust me, I found out real quick that that's just like having a part-time job, right? Because when you're doing those surveys, you're not getting really paid a significant amount of money for you to be able to quit your job, right? Or be able to create that income enough to where you're not wasting a lot of your time, right? And I realized that very quickly. So what did I do? After that, I pretty much stopped doing surveys because they just weren't it just wasn't for me, right? So I kept searching, and then one day I was on YouTube, I ran across an ad, right? And I'll never forget the ad. I'm actually still friends with the guy today, right? I saw the ad on YouTube, and immediately after seeing, hearing this message, hearing this story, I immediately signed up to that business, right? Now keep in mind, that was back in 2014, going into 2015, right? And from there, I have been doing this online marketing, entrepreneur type thing, for the longest. This November would make 3 years that I've been doing this, right? And I've learned so much, and I'm so grateful, for everything that I've learned, up until this point, and are still learning, right? So I'm so grateful for it. And my whole point of this webinar, like I told you, is just to share with you, on how you can do the same thing, right? Because I never, one thing I never do is I never make any guarantees and tell anybody that you'll make the income in a certain amount of time that I did, because I did it, right? Because I know everybody has a different journey, right? I know everybody will go through either a slower path or a faster path than me, right? It just all depends. And the biggest thing that you want to focus on, like if you do decide to take action by the end of this webinar, is you have to be coachable. You have to apply what you're being taught, not just sit on the information, right? So for the most part, that's pretty much my story. I just wanted to share that with you and just, let you know who I am as an individual, the type of person I am, and pretty much how I got to where I am now, right? Now, one thing I always want to say, and I say in most of my videos on this channel, is that I haven't achieved the amount of success that I want, but I know that I'm on my way because of repeated actions that I do each and every day. So with that being said, I don't want to continue to bore you with my story. I just kind of want to let you know. But now I want to get into, this webinar, right? This webinar right here, I promise, some of the things that I'm going to show you may make you think like, okay, I think I can do this, right? And that's my whole point of showing you this and just sharing this information, right? So we're going to go ahead and go to the next slide, right? And I just want to know, like, are you ready for the information that I'm going to be sharing with you today, right? Are you ready for it? Because if you're ready and you'll choose to receive the information that I'm going to be sharing with you, then let's go. Let's get into it. I'm not here to waste any more of your time, right? Now, I want to talk about 4 reasons why I joined this company, right? I kind of want to get into those, right? So the first one is this company has been around since 1926, right? So it stood its test of time, right? It's been through each and everything that it can go through at this point, right? So it's stood its time. So that's very important to me. I look for longevity in a business. So that for example, if my income starts growing, I understand that this company has stood the test of time. So my income is not going to go to zero, right? So that's very important to me. That was very important to me in the beginning. All right. So the next thing is there is a low cost to get started, right? Now, there have been my first company that I joined. I spent about $4,100, right? So let me say that one more time. I spent $4,100 to get started in my first company, right? So let that kind of just sink into your mind, right? So I understand that the average person does not have that type of money to just fork out, right? Understand that. So going into this company, I realized, okay, they're very low cost to start, so it's very affordable for the average person. So that's something that I paid attention to when getting started with this company, right? So the next thing is they're accredited with the BBB with an A+ rating. Now, if you know anything about the Better Business Bureau, which is BBB, which is what that stands for, the only way that a company gets an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau is if they're legit, right? They take care of their customers. They hold up to what they say that they're going to do, right? Now, a company just doesn't get those. They don't get an A+ rating without, following those qualifications. You know what I mean? So that's something else that I paid attention to. If that means anything to you, then that's definitely something you want to pay attention to. Now, the next thing is this company pays out 200% commissions. Now, what is that? What does that even mean, right? So, for example, right, if for every sale that you make in this company, you're going to get paid an $80 commission, right? So for one sale, right? Now a 200% commission would mean that for one sale, since you're only going to make $80 for one sale. Imagine how how effective and like really like how lucrative that could be. 80, 80, 80, 80, right? But the whole point of me, me doing this is I understand that people can make a whole lot more money than what their efforts are. And I don't want you to, confuse that with me saying that you don't have to put in a lot of work. But I do want to say that it's a very lucrative comp plan, and we'll get into that a little bit later. All right, so let's go to the next slide, right? So what are the benefits that this company actually provides you, right? And it's so much that I can't even count. I'm going to just be completely honest with you. This company has by far some of the best benefits that I've seen, through researching a bunch of other companies. They provide you with so much benefits, right? And I'm going to show you here in a second, and I'm going to go through a few of them just to, give you some information on the amount of benefits that they provide. All right, so here are the benefits, right? So they have over $150,000 in benefits. So let's go into it. So this is a motor club company. A roadside assistance is their main product. But let me break down all these benefits, right? So you get 24/7 roadside assistance, right? So that's anything that has to do with roadside assistance. Also, you get up to a $500 travel assistance reimbursement, right? Trip planning and travel discounts, right? So you get travel discounts. Let's say as far as like up to $25,000 bail bond release. So let's say something happens where you get vehicle manslaughter or negligent homicide. Not that we want those things to happen and you end up getting locked up. There's up to $25,000 bail bond release, right? Now, also attorney fees, up to $2,000 in attorney fees and $1,000 to protect you, right? Right. So let's keep going, right? Let's keep going. $5,000 stolen vehicle reward. So let's say that your vehicle gets stolen. This company will put out a $5,000 reward, right? Now, what that's going to do, which you can understand from anything in the past that you've seen where something's been missing, the money is what helps people find that a whole lot quicker, right? So if they put out a $5,000 stolen vehicle reward on your vehicle, right? That's going to help people. People are going to be looking to find your vehicle because they're going to get paid, right? So that's going to help get your vehicle back a whole lot faster, right? So let's go to the next thing. $1,000 credit card protection. The same thing goes as the $5,000 stolen vehicle reward. It'll cover you up to $1,000, right? Also, the $5,000 farm equipment reward. Same thing applies. So if any of your livestock equipment or anything that deals with your farm gets, like something happens to it, they'll put out a $5,000 reward and try to help find that a lot faster, right? So that's pretty powerful in itself. Now this one right here, this next one is basically prescription, vision, and dental discounts. So you get up to 65% discounts on most of your prescription, vision, and dental, like anytime you go to any one of those places where you need any one of those services. And what you'll find is that, with that being up to 65%, that's good for a single mom, right? A single dad or somebody in some type of situation where they need these discounts and they can't really afford to pay, these outrageous prices that we see all the time, right? So this is so beneficial, right? and this goes back into the attorney fees where it says deeply discounted legal matter fees. Same thing which applies with the attorney fees, right? Also, a $50,000 accidental death coverage, right? So if there's a death, they will cover you up to $50,000. Now understand that that's in a covered accident, right? Also, up to $500 emergency benefit. So if you have to go to the emergency room and you need like a splint or some type of emergency type of I can't really think of the word, but a splint. If you know what a splint is, that falls under like an emergency type of thing where let's say you have to put something on your leg or something along those lines, they'll cover you up to $500. Right now, this next one is super crazy. It was super crazy. Like when I first started and I saw it, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Right. So they'll cover you up to 150 per. They will pay you 150 per day for your hospital stay up to 54,000. Now that totals to 365 days. So up to a year, you can stay in the hospital and they'll pay you $150 per day, right? All right. So can y'all hold for just a minute? Yes, just a minute. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I was talking to my son. So like I said, they'll pay you up to $150 per day for your stay, up to $54,000. Right? So that's all. I just went through over $150,000 in benefits on what this company actually provides. Right? So like the benefits in themselves are is what makes this company so powerful in what they do. Right? So let's go to the next slide, right? Because you're probably wondering, okay, the benefits are good, all this other stuff is good, but how do I get paid, right? So I'm gonna break this stuff down to you, right? I'm gonna break this stuff down so simple, and it don't even have to take that long, right? So let's go to the next slide. All right, so this is how it's broken down, right? So on this chart, you can see that this is the number of sales, right? All right, the number of sales. So let's say you bring in 3 sales per week, right? So if you bring in 3 sales per week, that's going to make you 240 extra dollars that you did not have, right? So let's say you bring in 3 sales a week for 4 weeks, since there's 4 weeks in a month, right? That's going to pay you an extra $1,040 for the month, right? So that's an extra $1,040 that you did not have in your bank account, right? So I just want to share this with you. Now, if you just keep this up, right? If you keep this up where you're making at least 3 sales a week, that's not even a lot. 3 sales a week. If you do that for an entire year, that's going to pay you an extra $12,000. So let's just do the math, right? Let's say you already make $30,000 a year at your job, right? And you just added on an extra 12,000 to that. You just raised your annual income to about 50 grand per year, right? And we can keep going, right? We can keep going. 5 sales, right? 5 sales a week is going to bring you an extra $410, right? Right? And then if we go to the month, same thing applies. 1,700 extra dollars per month that you'll be making. And guess what? Now, let's just say you're still making 30,000, right? Let's say you're doing this, you're going to be making about 50,000 in the same, like if we look at this in the same bracket, you're going to be increasing your income a whole lot, right? If you're able to stay consistent, follow the training that will be provided once you get started in this company, right? There's going to be step-by-step training provided to help you, along your journey, right? Because that's what was given to me when I first got started was the training, and the training has worked for me, right? And so on and so on. Like if you just look at these numbers, you have a high income potential if you pay attention, right? It says $146,000 if you bring in at least 30 sales a week. But for someone who's not really experiencing this, right? You still have, as much as opportunity as somebody who's been doing this a very long time. but you may be within this range right here, 3 to 5 sales per week, right? That's what most average people that get started in this is what this is the numbers that I usually see, 3 to 5 sales per week. Now, like I said, this is a business. So you have to understand that you may not get 3 sales every single week. You may get 2 sales or you may get 1 sale, right? I would like to be real with people. There may be weeks where you get no sales. And I just like to put that out because, it's real. You know what I mean? It's real. And that's just how it goes, right? But if you stay consistent and you're coachable and you follow the step-by-step training that we provide, for our team, then I don't like to guarantee, but I like to say I'm pretty sure you're going to get some results. That I will say because I've seen it myself time and time again. All right, so now that you've seen, how do you get paid, right? Like how everything works and the income potential that you have. Now, I want to take you to the next slide. So what would it be like if you could spend more time with your kids? Also, if you could travel to any place you wanted in the world, and if you could buy what you want without thinking about it, right? What would it be like for you if you could, if that was your lifestyle? Like, what would that really be like for you? So what I want to do, like if you answer those questions, you're just wondering to yourself, like, what would that feel like? What I want to do is I want to present to you a special offer, right? Because I really want to help a lot of people, right? I want to help so many people. So what I want to do right here on this webinar, what I want to do is I want to present to you an action takers bonus, right? So this action takers bonus is going to include a few things, right? Now it's only going to be for the people, who decide to actually take action, and decide to join this company, join our team, and let us help you, with step-by-step training on how to get started. This is only going to be for those people, right? So if you're not really serious and you just wanted to, hop on this webinar and, just kind of, watch it and just say, oh, that's cool, then, at this time, it would be a real good time for you to hop off. If this information that I've shared so far is not something that you see value in, right? So I want to talk about the action takers bonus, right? So first things first, when you decide to take action today and get started with my team, you're going to get full access to our team training site, right? Now this site has led to tons of people getting results, right? And having testimonial stories, right? Now, including myself, right? And what I was able to do within my first month, just applying, what's been taught, step-by-step training onto the team training site, right? Now, also, you're going to get access to a private Facebook group. So with that private Facebook group, you're going to be able to ask questions, right? Reach out to other people for their opinions on different things, right? You got total support, even from myself, right? So you'll have me, you'll have the support, and you'll have the company, the support from the company, which is super valuable, right? And next, you're going to get one-on-one coaching sessions to get you started correctly, right? Now, that one is for the first 10 people to take action. So if you're watching this webinar right now and you got to the point where you're like, oh man, this is cool, I need to get started with this right now, just let me know where to get signed up, then this is going to be for you, right? Only the first 10 people to take action will get a one-on-one coaching session with me personally to get you started correctly how you need to be started, right? Now how you may see like a bunch of other people showing you how to do it, right? I'm going to show you exactly what I did when I first got started in this company, and I'm going to take you on that journey, and then we're going to make things happen, right? So the first 10 people only, right? So this could go fast, right? Usually it does. So you may want to pay close attention. Go ahead and get started. If you look down below this video, you'll look in the description box. You will see a link, and it's yourdreamsarereal.today, right? If you go to that website right now and get started, go through the process of signing up, you're going to get access to the one-on-one coaching session with myself via Skype or whichever way is better for you, so I can actually see you, you see me, and we go over a few things, right? All right, so that's the action takers bonus. So this is how our team training site looks like, right? So when you come here, this is going to be video one, the welcome video, right? Then you're going to see these green tabs over here, right? So as you can see, there's step-by-step training, system setup, setting up your systems, and so on, right? So it's literally step-by-step video training. All you have to literally do is watch the videos, and as you're watching the videos, do your signing up, set up your system, start going through the training and all different things that you could probably think about when it comes to getting started, with this company, right? So as we go down, you'll see Facebook training, how to 10x your business, right? A 10 sale a day formula, right? And the resources, and so on, bonus, webinars, all these different types of things, right? Now, that's the team training site, right? That shows you step by step how to do this stuff, right? Now, if we go to the next slide, this is our private Facebook group that we have all of our team members in, right? So if you pay attention right here, there's 2,931 members and 65 new members, right? So you can see the amount of people that are in this group. Everybody in this group is paid, has paid for their membership, received the training, and there's people that have better results than others. There's people that have, minimal results, and there's still new people who don't have the best results yet, but they've achieved some type of result, which is the most important, right? So this is our team, our private Facebook group. So you can kind of get a look at, how it looks or whatever. And this is where you'll be able to ask questions to anybody, kind of get some advice from other people to kind of let them, just kind of take them through the process. All right. So these things may be holding you back, right? These keep holding people back, right? They usually have, these type of objections. They're worried about certain things, and they're not sure on how to really, go long term with this. And they're really, these things are really holding them back, right? So first things first is they don't have enough time. They don't believe that they're going to have enough time to do to build this business, right? So I want you to pay attention to this, right? It says, but I don't have time. In a week, there's 168 hours, which is, if you pay attention to this, there's 56 hours that you spend sleeping. There's 35 hours you eat, shower, driving, and so on and so on. And then there's 40 hours working, right? And then there's 37 hours, enough time to pursue your dreams. So those are all the hours that you have that most people don't take advantage of because they're doing things that are not going to help them create wealth for themselves if that's what they want. Quit their job if that's what they want. Like whatever it is that they really want in their life, right? So you have 37 additional hours to be able to build this business, right? The next thing that people usually have an objection with is they don't have enough money, right? And remember, in the beginning of this webinar, I stated that this has a low cost to get started, right? So seeing that it has a low cost to get started, money really isn't the issue here. It's, do you feel like the person that, is presenting you the information will actually be able to help you, get into profit, right? Do you truly believe that, right? So, and and another thing I want to say is that it's not that you don't have enough money, it's that you don't have the answers, right? You don't have the answers, right? And that's the biggest thing of them all, right? All right, so the next thing is, as you can see, it says start, right? A lot of people feel that they don't have a lot of experience, right? A lot of people feel like they don't have enough experience, so they don't want to get started in a particular company, right? Could you just hold for just a minute? All right, I'm back, guys. lot of people feel that, in order to start, they got to have all this experience, right? So let's just think about this for a second. Like most times when a job is trying to hire you, they're looking for experience, right? This is not one of those type of things that, you're going to need all this experience to really get. What really happens is you go through a learning curve to actually help you, further along your process, right? There's step-by-step training. So this actually allows you to learn to earn while you learn, right? So this is pretty powerful, and I really, for excuse me, for the time that I've been doing this, I can definitely say that experience comes with take, right? The more action you take, the more times you fail, the more times that you're going to learn new things, which are going to potentially, explode your business long term, right? Notice I said long term there. All right, so let's go to the next slide, guys. All right, so now I want to get into the testimonials, right? Now, as you can see, here's Anthony Brown, right? He says, I got paid. I just received my first of many payments from Motor Club of America, right? So this is actually our, if you pay attention here, it says No Quitters MCA team, right? So this is our team. He was able to get paid $77, which was sent directly to his paycheck account. I mean, sorry about that, to his bank account, right? So he was able to make that money. So now, if you pay attention to the next testimonial, it only gets better from here is where I'm going with this, right? Now, you may see most of these people making money, and you may still be thinking like, I'm not sure I can do that. Like I still don't have, the steps that I need to take to be able to do that. Which, like I said, in the step-by-step training, the team training site, we're going to show you exactly what you need to be able to do. Now, most of these people I'm going to show you, each and every one of them just followed the training step by step. Sorry about that. Let me go back. Step by step, they followed the training, and that's all they did, right? And they just continuously did it. Whether they failed the first time they did it again, but they learned from what they did last time, right? So let's go to the next guy, Dylan Sankar. 16 so far that week, right? At the week that he was actually, building his business or marketing his business, he got 16 sales, right? His goal, as you can see, it says beat last week's 31 sales. So he had went from 16, right? And the week before he had 31, right? So in the week had not even been done at that particular time, right? So I kind of want you to understand that. All right, so let's go to the next person. Christopher Harold made 19 sales the week that he was referring to here, right? So that's 19 sales, right? So if you go back to the chart, right? If we were to go back to the chart, 19 sales pays a good chunk of money, right? Most 19 to 20 sales would be like what you would consider a full-time income if you were to, like, if you look at the average income for a household, which is about $3,000 per month, right? That would be considered full-time, right? So let's go to the next person, right? The next person is Louis Sanchez, right? Now, as you can see, he says, finally found out how to close these sales. Another successful week, right? So let's take a look, right? That's 1,500 bucks sent to his bank account, right? On top of what he already does, right? So most of these people you'll see, they already have a full-time job that pays them pretty much about the same amount or higher, and he just added an extra $1,500 onto, his annual income, right? Which will continue to increase because he's just following the training on the training site that we provide once you get started, right? So it's super powerful. All right, so let's go to the next slide. This right here is me, right? So this was my first month inside of this company. As you see my name and you see my picture, right? My first week, I did $388, right? Then I came back the next week, I did $77, right? So you see a drop, but then guess what? The next week, I came back, I did $231, Then the next week after that, I did $308, right? So that all totals to over $1,000 my first month inside of this company. So I kind of want you to understand that all this goes back to following step-by-step training and being coachable and trying and staying consistent when doing it all over and over and over and over and over again. Like it's just staying consistent with it and following what people who have already lined out a successful blueprint are showing you, and just implementing what they're showing you over and over again, right? It may not work the first time, but at least you've learned, okay, I've learned what I did the first time. Now when I try it again the next time, I can kind of, critique what I did, and I can get better results, right? And that's what I found is that the more consistent you stay, the better your results are going to get, right? Long term. I like to use that word a lot. Long term, because this is a long term process. This is not a week process. This is not a month process. This is not even a 1 year process. This is a long term process because true wealth is created long term. That's how you want to. That's what you want to happen. Because most times when you hear somebody getting rich fast, that person hasn't even consumed enough personal development to become. Let's say they become a millionaire. They haven't consumed enough personal development to be able to actually become a millionaire. So what happens? They lose their money because they don't really know how to invest that money and keep growing it, right? So that's super important. I just want to show my first month results with this company. All right, so I'm gonna go to the next slide, right? Because you're probably wondering, like, okay, all this sounds nice, like I'm loving it, like I'm with you, but I want to know how much this all costs, right? Because this seems like it's gonna cost like a load, right? And I kind of want to just go over again what it is that you're gonna be getting, right? All right, so you're gonna be getting up to $150,000 in benefits, right? And I showed you all the benefits on a couple slides ago, right? All right, next thing, full access to the team training site. Full access, right? Step-by-step training to show you exactly how the people that I've showed you, myself, and so many others are creating results inside of their business and creating a better financial future for themselves, right? All right, so the next thing is you're going to get access to our private Facebook group where you're going to get total support, right? Where you're going to be able to ask questions, right? You're going to just reach out to people, get their advice on certain things, and then we can just go from there. All right, so the next thing is a one-on-one coaching session where the first 10 people only, the first 10, that's it. So once I hit the 10 people, I won't be doing any more one-on-one coaching sessions until I release this offer again, or an even better offer on another webinar, right? So you want to go, if you really want, what you see on the screen right here, right, including the benefits, the team training site, the private Facebook group, and a one-on-one coaching session, then you're going to want to, take action as soon as possible. If you need, a little assistance on getting started, I have all my contact details in the description, down below this video. And all you have to do is just, give me a call, and I'll walk you through the setup process, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll schedule our one-on-one coaching session from there, right? But once again, only the first 10 people, and this can go fast, and like I said, it usually does. So if you, want to get access to this, go ahead, take action, click the link down below in the description, and it'll take you to the site, and just pretty much go through the process. And like I said, if you need assistance, just give my phone a ring, or shoot me a message on Facebook, or any one of the contact details down below in the description. All right. So all this is only going to cost you $40. That's it. That's it. It's only going to cost you $40, my friend. So two $20 bills. So there's really not much that's holding you back. All right. So usually what I do is I do a live question and answer where people are, give me just a second. All right, y'all. I'm back. Usually, what I was saying is usually I do a question and answer where I have people come on live, but I kind of want to do it a little bit different this time. If you have any questions, right, that you want me to answer, all you have to do is there'll be a comment box down below, right, or you can put it in the chat right now if you have any questions, right? And just leave the questions you have in the comments. And what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll answer all your questions that you have, right? That way you can get some better clarification on exactly what's going on if you didn't, figure everything out while I was going through the webinar. As far as all the information, you can just, rewatch this webinar. For all the people that, didn't see this live, you can just go back and rewatch it, and it'll pretty much, answer any question that you have. But like I said, if you're ready to get started, right? Matter of fact, let me stop sharing, right? I want you to see my face, as I'm telling you this, right? All right, so stop sharing. All right, let's go back to the, all right, so like I was saying, if you're on and this interested you and you wanted to take action on this, all you have to do is just reach out to me. Like I said, all my contact details are in the description below, as well as, excuse me, as well as the link to get started. And all you pretty much have to do is just go into your emails. The first thing you're going to have to do and just go right through the process, right? And don't forget, leave all the questions that you have in the comments below. I will answer them personally. All right. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's webinar, and I hope I pray that you actually take action and add an additional income onto your annual income that you're already making with your full-time job or your part-time job, and just be able to increase your income. So with that being said, I want to thank you for watching this webinar, if you were here to watch it. And for all the people that didn't get to watch it live, you can just rewatch this right now to get all the information that you need. And with that being said, my name is Rakeem Addison, and I will see you on the next broadcast, my friend. All right. Peace.